Welcome back. You're still watching Power Lunch. We continue our conversation regarding Brexit and the activities unfolding as Britons take to the polls today to decide whether to stay or to leave the European Union. Still joined by Gary Boyson at the desk today, Rand Swiss Director and Portfolio Manager. With all this excitement, clearly the conversation does continue. But we also joined now telephonically by Jean-Pierre Kloppers, who's the Chief Executive at Brands Eye, and that's to tell us more about the social media trends that have been unfolding. JP, thank you so much for joining us today. I understand that the polls have, or rather the indications on social media regarding the polls have changed dramatically. There was priced in that maybe 80% are looking at a Remain vote, but what does social media tell us at the change in this trend at the moment?
Thanks. Yeah, great to chat to you. It has been exceptionally interesting looking at the sort of polls, if you like, on Twitter this week. We looked at about 500,000 conversations over the past couple of days and took a representative sample of that, and shockingly 60% of people on Twitter from Britain look like they are going with the Leave campaign, which is totally contrary to what we're seeing in other polls, and it is interesting to see what social media is saying.
JB, yeah, when you did your analysis, I mean, what other trends have you picked up? I mean, you know, from reading the newspapers, I mean, you feel almost that the Leave camp is very much an immigration issue. I mean, what trends are you seeing in social media space?
I think the trend we're seeing, and we've seen it in other elections around the world, is that the voice on social media often has an indication of which way the surprise is going to go. And what no one's yet been able to quantify or prove is just how big the surprise is. You know, if we look at South Africa in the last elections, no one knew between Gang and the EFF, you know, which way was it going to go, who was going to gain how many votes. But from social media, it was kind of clear that the EFF was going to win hands down. So whether what we're seeing in the Twitter conversation, and bear in mind it's not a poll, this is just people expressing their opinions, and it is a large sort of quantum of conversation. What I'm interested to see is how does that compare with, you know, the shy Tories, and when they come out, are they going to be swayed by the sort of conversation that's happening on social media that Britain's losing its identity and so needs to return to the good old days, if you like, which is a similar rhetoric to what we hear in the USA at the moment, as a matter of fact, and how influential that voice is. We're seeing it quite loudly this week on social media, which is indicated by those stats. Whether it's loud enough to actually win the referendum, that is everybody's guess at this stage.
JP, thank you so much for your time. Unfortunately, we have to leave it there for today, but we'll continue touching base with you to take a look further at some of the trends on social media regarding Brexit. That was JP Kloppers, CEO at Brands Eye.